Once upon a time, in the grand city of Troy, there was a brave warrior named Hector. He was loved by his people and fought fiercely to protect them from the invading Greeks. Sadly, Hector died in battle, leaving his friends and family devastated. But the fight was not over. Other heroes came to help Troy, including Penthesilea. Penthesilea was the queen of the Amazons, a tribe of fierce warrior women known for their strength and bravery. She was a remarkable leader, commanding respect and loyalty from her fellow warriors. The Amazons were known for their skills in combat and their unwavering courage. They lived in a society where women were dominant, and men were not permitted to live among them. Penthesilea was not only a skilled fighter but also a compassionate leader. She joined the Trojan War to help her allies, the Trojans, in their struggle against the Greeks. Her encounter with Achilles on the battlefield was both tragic and poignant. Despite being enemies, Achilles recognized her valor and felt deep regret after killing her. This moment highlighted the complex emotions and respect that could exist even between foes. Achilles was a special warrior. When he was a baby, his mother Thetis, an immortal nymph, dipped him in the magical river Styx to make him nearly invincible, but she held him by his heel, leaving that spot vulnerable. Thetis, the mother of Achilles, was a sea nymph, a type of minor goddess associated with the sea, immortal and endowed with the powers of the ocean. She was a figure of great beauty and wisdom. Thetis was deeply devoted to her son, Achilles, and went to great lengths to protect him. The story of her dipping him in the river Styx to make him nearly invincible is a testament to her love and determination to keep him safe. Thetis had foresight and knew the dangers that awaited her son. Her actions were driven by the fear and knowledge that Achilles was destined for greatness, but also doomed to face tremendous challenges. Despite her immortality and power, she experienced the same fears and hopes as any mother would for her child. Paris was a prince of Troy, known for his charm and good looks. However, he was also a source of much conflict. During the long war with Troy, Achilles saw and fell in love with Polyxena, the daughter of King Priam and Queen Hecuba of Troy. She was known for her beauty and grace. He promised the Trojans that if Polyxena married him, he would help bring peace between the Greeks and the Trojans. They discussed this in the temple of Apollo. But Paris, Polyxena's brave Paris, did not trust Achilles. He shot a poison arrow at Achilles' heel, the only weak spot, and Achilles died. His devoted friends Ajax and Odysseus undertook the somber task of carrying his lifeless body back to the Greek ships. Achilles' body, once full of vigor and life, now lay still, a heartbreaking reminder of the cost of war, leaving a void among his comrades. As they reached the ships, the weight of their loss was almost too much to bear. The sun's rays glinted off Achilles' shining armor, a symbol of his unmatched prowess and glory on the battlefield. The armor, which had been a source of protection and strength for Achilles, now seemed to shimmer with a sad, silent tribute to its fallen owner. Odysseus, known for his cunning and wisdom, was chosen to inherit the armor. This was no small honor, as it symbolized the passing of Achilles' heroic legacy. Odysseus accepted the armor with a heavy heart, knowing the significance of wearing the gear of such a legendary warrior. Each piece of the armor carried memories of battles won and moments of bravery, now entrusted to Odysseus to carry forward. This moment marked a turning point, not only in the war, but in the hearts of those who had fought alongside Achilles. The grief of losing their greatest warrior was palpable, but the fight was far from over. With Achilles' spirit and legacy, living on through his armor and the memories of his deeds. The Greeks found a renewed sense of purpose to continue their battle for victory. The Trojans had a special statue of the goddess Athena, known as the Palladium. They believed that as long as they had this statue, their city would never fall. One night, Odysseus and a friend sneaked into the city and stole the Palladium, bringing it back to the Greek ships. But still, Troy stood strong. Odysseus came up with a clever plan to capture the city. The Greeks pretended to sail away, hiding their ships behind a nearby island. They built a giant wooden horse and left it at their abandoned camp. Inside the hollow horse, they hid their best soldiers. The Trojans were overjoyed, thinking their enemies had left for good. They explored the empty Greek camp, picking up old swords and broken helmets left behind. When they found the enormous wooden horse, they wondered what it could be. Some wanted to bring it into the city as a gift, while others thought it was safer to leave it alone. The daughter of King Priam, Cassandra, had the gift of seeing the future, given to her by Apollo. But because she refused his love, Apollo cursed her so that no one would believe her visions. She warned the Trojans, "Have you not already suffered enough from the tricks of our enemies? I fear the Greeks even when they bring gifts." She had seen a vision of the horse being brought into the city and then catching fire, burning Troy to the ground. Despite her warnings, the Trojans decided to bring the horse into the city. They found a Greek man named Sinon, who told them he had been left behind as a sacrifice to Athena. He lied, saying that the horse was an offering to the goddess and that, if the Trojans brought it into their city, they would win the war. Believing Sinon, the Trojans celebrated as they dragged the horse inside the city walls. That night, while the Trojans slept soundly, he also opened the city gates for the rest of the Greek army. The Trojans awoke in terror to the light of raging fires. Their temples and homes were burning, and Greek soldiers were everywhere, showing no mercy. King Priam, old and frail, tried to fight back. As they prayed for help, their youngest son burst in, mortally wounded. Behind him was Pyrrhus, the fierce son of Achilles, who struck down King Priam at the altar. Many Trojans were killed, while others, including Queen Hecuba and her daughter, were captured and taken away. Cassandra, driven mad by her visions, watched her city burn and was ultimately killed. Paris, the prince who had started the war by taking Helen, was among the dead. Menelaus, the Greek king, found his wife Helen and took her back to their home in Sparta. The Greek leaders gathered their remaining soldiers and sailed back to their homeland after 10 long years of war. The great city of Troy was no more, but the stories of its heroes and their bravery would live on forever.